Training camp's here. Whoa, come on.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Cheeseheads podcast. We have Jake here, so I don't really know what this is officially going to be called, but it has been a long time, and football is back. So welcome back, everybody. Jake, Mason, Chris, how are we all doing?
Fantastic, as you
Clearly
can tell by
great.
this
Wow.
Randall Cobb jersey. Of course.
I'm actually so
back.
amped. So amped.
Randall Cobb is back. Aaron Rodgers is back, although technically
and QB1 is here.
And QB. Oh my gosh.
Yes, he is. Training camp's here as well, obviously.
Oh yeah. Training camp. Although the children cannot actually ride the bikes with the players, which is sad, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
tough.
AJ is not here right now. He is on his way home from work or some BS like that. So he might show up. He probably won't, but that's what we have going on. So
when you run this back, he probably won't, like, again right before he shows up, just so you have that little edit there. There
you go. Yeah,
that'll be good.
He probably won't.
On the next episode of Dragon.
So I didn't watch the press conference that happened today. Jake gave me a very good rundown. Gave me a tweet to look at. That was a good rundown of what happened. But before we dive into all of that, Mason, what are we doing today? Give us like a rundown of what we're doing, because I don't remember.
We are going through the whole Rodgers saga, including one of Mason's well-written articles that got so many views.
I had a well-written article, but
yeah, shout out.
It's fine.
You could have waited.
No, it's fine.
Okay, we're going to go through the press conferences that happened today, both with Rodgers and Davante Adams, which were some interesting comments. We're going to run through. Jake had an interesting video today that he posted on his YouTube channel. I want to make a note of one player that Jake already knows about. And then we're going to do some position battles that I think we're going to have to see how that goes, because obviously the roster has to get down from 90 to 53. But before we get into the Rodgers Adams BS, the Packers actually did a signing today.
It's true.
Yeah.
Who'd they sign?
He's starting at right tackle.
Dennis Kelly.
Dennis Kelly.
Wait, starting at right tackle?
Starting caliber.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay.
That's a good. Yeah.
I was like, how did I miss? I mean,
Also,
not the biggest Billy Turner guy, but
had a receiving touchdown. I believe last season or the season
He did.
before.
oh,
So
okay.
it's
that's
another weapon.
So it's tight end room is very full as well. With the addition of Dennis Kelly.
Is he competing with Dominique Daphne for that last
I think
tight end
him,
spot?
Daphne, and potentially Sternberger might be. We'll see.
Incredible.
Gives you some much needed tackle depth too, especially with Bakhtiari's health still remaining a question mark.
Because they put him on PUP to begin the training camp, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
They did.
I
mean, it'll be. They had the ones out today. It was Jenkins and Turner, I believe, at the tackle spots.
Yes, it
so
was.
I assume that's the direction they go. And if they don't believe Newman is a tackle, the Kelly signing is big. So
I rewatched our draft podcast from day 3, and you graded him as a guard, and you were very confused with the selection.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So
Very confused. But I mean,
good times. Be confused with a pick. What's
think-
new?
a lot. The Packers signed a
What's
linebacker
new?
Wait, they signed a linebacker?
like months ago. We
Yeah.
haven't had a
okay.
podcast.
Who's with the ones today?
Yeah, we haven't had a
the
podcast
defense?
since Campbell signed.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You
haven't.
make good points. Yeah. Oh, Mason's taking pictures of us and sending it to group chats. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. That's what you get for taking with some of my picks this fantasy draft, Chris.
I was gonna say I didn't take any of your picks, you weirdo.
I actually drafted such a good team. All right, we're getting off track.
Anyway,
We always do.
Yeah.
that's how we work.
Let's
So-
go into the press conference. BS.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers is still like not a happy camper, right? I mean that's what it
Very
appears. He's
unhappy camper.
here. Also, Dominique Daphne is on the pup list. I just saw, which is
Rest
new.
in peace.
Just thought I should throw that out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Somebody else can summarize.
To me,
I'll
my
rant later,
main
but
takeaway from it was I think this is going to be it. Like, there's no, like, this is it, last dance. I found it to be one of the best press conferences he's ever given because it was just like pure, raw emotion from Aaron Rodgers about kind of what's led to this point over the last, I'll say, 10 plus years in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And I think I highlighted it, give a little tire pump, when we were talking about this story originally, that he's kind of seen some of these veteran guys. I think Julius Peppers was obviously mentioned today, and Casey Hayward, Jordy Nelson, Micah Hyde, who have kind of left Green Bay in less than like the formidable fashion that he would like, where the team could have re-upped with them on new deals. And he talked about how vocal those guys were in the room and how much the veteran leadership they provided, where I think that irked him a lot.
That's a definite. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
it sounds like, again, he put it in there. It's conversations really started in February.
Yeah.
Now he talked about he want to be more involved in the process of, whether it be, being interested in free agents, and just kind of lend his thoughts on some guys that he probably would like to have in Green Bay. Obviously, clearly lent his thoughts once he returned, or once they said he was returning, about getting Randall Cobb back here. But just to be kind of in that conversation, and he kind of outlined that, being here for being the starter for 13 years now. He felt like that should be a natural part of the conversation between him and Matt LaFleur and Goody as well. I mean, it's a fine line to walk, getting involved in the decisions that the front office makes. And I think the biggest thing for me to take away from this is, other than this is his last year, is some of the guys, and I think he kind of laid some things out that probably fans and people who cover the Green Bay Packers have kind of aired out over the last decade, even just kind of how the front office handled free agency and some of the draft classes that they put together. But yeah, I think he kind of echoed what many of us have kind of seen from this organization at times, is they're kind of very set in what they want to do, and they don't want to really adjust anything. And I get the idea of, especially the players he listed, I get the idea of guys, especially the two DBs he mentioned.
yeah.
Not Woods. Sorry, he mentioned three, but not Woods. Woodson was tail end at the point that to bring back. But Casey Hayward and Micah Hyde were two names that jumped out. The Casey Hayward, after his rookie contract, that was wild that they really didn't even seem like they were interested in bringing him back.
No, not at all.
Very odd.
Those were the two big ones.
And then Micah Hyde, who had consistently moved all over the place to make plays, and probably one of the most notable plays I can remember from the run of the table that wasn't Aaron Rodgers related was the interception against Dallas.
Yep.
In a game that swung momentum back their way. Just him making plays like that, it was interesting to see him go to Buffalo. It's great to see him do well. But
look what he's become for that. Sorry, look what he's become for that Bills team too.
Yeah, and a leader on that team. It's a pretty young defense, other than guys like Jerry Hughes, and he's been a big leader for them. So I get it from that type of standpoint. I know he listed a lot of guys that are his friends, and he wanted to keep them around as long as possible. And I get it. I mean, that's part of it. Like, the emotion of playing this game and playing it with your buddies is, you don't get that luxury like you do in the NBA, kind of, where you have the guy be like, listen, come to me, I'll talk to him. Like, you don't have that LeBron effect necessarily, or some of these guys have, where it's like, get me stars over here. So I get it. And I think he's trying to make that more of a player process where, and he's not saying he's doing all the signings. And I think that's really clear, because I think everybody's going to take this as Rodgers saying, I want to make every single decision under the sun and want to be the GM. I don't think that's the case. I think he's just like, maybe listen to me here and there about a free agent, that maybe on offense we could add, or, I think he mentioned like his agency and high draft picks, as well as like, this guy, if he's there like later or something like that, like, maybe take a flyer on him or something. So I think it's just kind of trying to traverse that line is obviously what Green Bay and the organization is afraid of. And I think Aaron kind of laid it out in like what he kind of played a little bit of the anti-Goody talk and anti-front office regime that they've had, that a lot of Packer fans have expressed some feelings over the past even 15 years. So,
and then you got the Jake Kummerow comments again, second best receiver in camp a year ago.
That was interesting.
Yeah, he did say that, and
He did.
I mean,
It wasn't wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if he I think he was that wrong either, honestly.
I would say
I think, third is probably more accurate, but I think, he played almost as good as anybody
yes.
in camp. And so to see him like that's like a little thing. I feel like, you're looking for that fifth, sixth guy. And if your quarterback, who the daily all season long is working with these guys, building chemistry with these guys, and you're kind of like, all right, let's keep St. Brown still, and we still believe in him over a guy like Kummerow. That maybe, irks you a little bit. And so
even Goody's comments were interesting when he said,
Yes.
like, we gotta learn to incorporate his feedback more into decision making, which
that
means
seems
like
a little
yeah,
too late, to be honest, because he's going to be out of the building in
It's
we
like
assume
it's
at
like
least 8 months. So
it's like a complicated relationship. Like an actual relationship between a guy and a girl.
Goody and Rodgers are complicated fellas, and we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think.
The thing that confuses me is I'm gonna slightly disagree with you a little bit, Jake. I don't think Rodgers wants to be the GM. Like, I don't think
that's what I said.
No, I know. I'm agreeing with you on that part. The part where I disagree is, and it may not even be like consciously at the forefront of his mind, but Aaron Rodgers knows he is intelligent enough to run an NFL team. Like, he very well could be the general manager. And so I don't know. I think that, combined with the fact that Aaron Rodgers, especially on the offensive side of the ball, relies so much on trust that he almost sometimes doesn't care if the front office sees the person as talented, as long as he trusts them. So that applies to the Jake Kummerow.
Yeah.
In Rodgers' mind, he doesn't care if St. Brown is faster or more athletically gifted than Jake Kummerow. He trusts Kummerow. So when you have all of the guys he trusts walking out the door, you hear that narrative all the time during the season. When you're watching a Packer game, you hear that all the time, because it's true. Rodgers really has his favorites, especially just during a given game. So I think that's part of it, is a guy who is way more than other people reliant on trust and chemistry. And part of that was the offense they ran before. You had to. With a newer Matt LaFleur offense, it's a little bit different. And so I think that's part of it as well. But I will disagree with you slightly, Jake, that I do kind of think if he had the chance, like if the Packers said, hey, Aaron, you want to be the GM and be the quarterback? I don't think he'd say no.
Well,
I think he would do it. I think he does want to be LeBron. I think he does want to basically just make all the decisions for who he wants on the team, because he knows he's charismatic enough. He has the relationships. He has the prowess to do it. Green Bay just hasn't let him. So I think he would absolutely do it and wants to. That's just me, but that's kind of what I saw from, granted, limited things I've seen today, but I don't know.
So for the Adams part of the press conference, I mean, I think we all agree here. Adams is probably at least top two, not two receiver in the league.
Yep.
I love it. I love it because somebody
biggest-
yelled that at the shareholders meeting. I love it.
The
Love it.
biggest
two, not two.
issue in the way of this contract is Steve Keim.
What?
Steve Keim, what, Chris?
Yeah, I'm just.
No, you're right,
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're 100% right. You're 100%
which is
right.
annoying.
Because Keim
Yeah, it's just
had
annoying.
to pay DeAndre Hopkins because he already gave up. Well, I mean, he didn't give up really anything. Thanks, Bill O'Brien. But obviously,
funny, dude.
DeAndre Hopkins is a good receiver, yes, but that contract that Steve Keim handed out to DeAndre Hopkins is absolutely killing us right now.
Yeah.
But look at the comparing the two situations. Obviously, they have Kyler on a rookie deal
Yeah.
still, and the Packers are obviously paying Aaron Rodgers a lot of money.
Right, which is, I think, if they get it done, Rodgers won't be here.
He's not
Right.
gonna
So
be here
like
anyways.
Rodgers
no,
and
it's
that's the reason
impossible.
Rodgers and Adams posted those things. They know that
Oh, yeah,
both will not be back in the green. But go
The
ahead.
fact that they both said it wasn't planned is complete and utter BS.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Complete BS.
I know Mason is going to agree with me on this, and Chris is going to lose his shit.
I already know what you're gonna say.
I'd rather have Devontae next season.
I mean, then Rodgers,
Yes.
you can't. Both of them are gonna go.
No, I think Adams will sign.
You think both of them are gone?
Yes. I
Really?
think yes.
Well, then we're screwed.
I
I
do
think
as
if-
well.
No,
I think they're both gone also.
they're both
If-
gone.
If the money's
think-
there, I think Adams would sign.
If the thing is, Chris, is that
Will the money be
we
there?
can't sign him
Oh.
unless Rodgers is off the books. So he'll have
you
No
to.
matter what
Rodgers,
they're pushing down the line.
yes, Rodgers is going to have to be traded.
Oh,
That
Rodgers
is
will be
why,
gone. Yeah.
if you look at how Kenny Clark's contract was structured when they signed him, after this year, the amount of money just shot up
Mm.
because they knew that Rodgers was going to be gone. So it is pretty much either both of them on the roster, which is probably highly unlikely unless we restructure Rodgers, which completely screws our cap even more. And Adams, I mean, the question I asked my buddy this when I was lunch with was, would you rather have Devontae Adams or would you rather have Jair Alexander? And it was easy for me.
There's no contest.
Yeah.
And it really hurts that it's no contest because all respect to Devontae Adams. But I'm taking the lockdown corner every single time.
Yeah.
And when you
And
factor
he's so
in-
much younger.
And the big thing as well is, and people talked about this, would you rather have, Devontae Adams or would you rather have, Jair or Elton Jenkins, right? Like that makes it obviously way easier. The
Mhm.
guy who can play literally 5 spots on an offensive line when you have a young quarterback most likely coming in to start next year. Receivers will be out there.
The biggest thing for me right now, and I posted this on Facebook, and I got absolutely slammed. Didn't even post in a group, just posted on my personal Facebook.
Facebook? That's
Yes.
not shocking.
Well, it is my personal Facebook. I got
I know.
slammed, not a group chat. So I said, trade Adams now. Because
All you're
I'm
gonna
just
get is a compensatory third.
it's honestly, all this drama's still ongoing, and the fact that this whole last dance BS is gonna take up the whole entire year, like, is that really it's gonna cause issues. I'm just gonna say it. So could hinder us, and we could again lose in the NFC Championship.
But how good would it be for the development of Jordan Love if you ship Rodgers out next offseason and you're able to get Devontae under contract and you have arguably the best receiver in football out there and he's sat for 2 years?
The thing is that without Rodgers, I don't know if he's gonna want to do that.
I know. I still think it's just a hunch for me is if the money's there, he'd sign.
Yes, but the thing,
The money
I mean,
won't be
unless
there.
you-
I just don't know if they're gonna offer
Yeah.
him $28 million a year.
No,
again-
that's why I don't see it.
again, Steve Keim, I hate you. I hope you know that. I'm sorry. You took
PSA
Zayvon
to
Collins
Steve.
too. You said
Oh.
you took Zayvon.
I was happy you did that, but
Well, yeah. But I mean, here's a question: is it even worth franchise tagging him and even trying to ship him off?
no.
Exactly. So my biggest thing is
Because they know you want to do it at
Yes.
that point. They know they're tag and trading, so they're going to lowball your offers.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And give you yeah.
It's
Honestly,
such a-
if the Packers wanted the full reset, they would have moved both already.
Yes.
And they would have got a lot of stuff
No.
back for that. My goodness.
I
the thing
I
for me
honestly
that-
wish they would have.
But
as a draft guy, that is what's pissing me off right now. You're getting a 3rd round pick for the best receiver in the league.
I know.
Like, I get it,
Yep.
but I mean, what happens? Like, I'm gonna say it. Like, what happens when we don't win the Super Bowl? Like, I'm not like. There's so much drama, so much.
Think about the asset they still have in Rodgers, though.
which will give you some,
Yes.
but it's
But once again,
It'll
we
be
talk-
less than it would have been this year.
Yeah.
It would have been
Oh.
less than it was this year. Yeah.
we talked
unless
about
he
it.
wins MVP again.
We talked about it, and Chris, you were the first one to bring this up. Is who are the suitors right now? Denver, late round pick, if he goes there. Las Vegas, sure, go team up with Adams again. But then what
San
happens when
Fran, but they
Derek
already
Carr?
drafted Lance.
The thing is, for me, is Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's going to be without Ben. They
It's a
have
dark horse. Yeah.
they have a lot of cap space starting next year. The thing is they have 0 offensive line. They're going to be in a full rebuild. Cool, you have a good running back and a few receivers. I mean, unless Cleveland gets all fancy and not retaining Baker.
The team is there to acquire him. It's not Denver. It's not the Raiders. Pittsburgh's a good one, but it's not them.
Miami.
It's the team that's missing really one thing almost.
Washington.
It's Washington.
I wouldn't-
And that is the place where he can go. The receivers there are nuts. The defense is
it's
outstanding.
insane.
Really good coach.
He has the
and-
running back.
Yeah.
That's the place. And that's where it's Pittsburgh or Washington. for
It's so
sure,
Washington's
next
so
offseason.
overlooked right now. Washington is so overlooked just for the quarterback.
And I will
situation.
say the other thing is if they can get better in terms of adding a coordinator
Scott Turner
worth
isn't bad.
anything, the New York Giants would be another team
Yep.
that has a very, very good defense, young O-line that are developing. Hopefully you see a year 2 jump. And they've got
A good crop of
a
receivers.
pretty
Yeah.
decent team there as well.
The thing I want to say something about the Giants. I do not like Daniel Jones. Number 1. Number 2.
This is exactly
Well,
why
yeah.
I think it's a possible destination.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Number 2, if Patrick Graham does what he did this year again, he's Brandon Staley of this year, and he's going to get a head coaching job. So
Very possible, yes.
that defense could go from here down, way down again. So,
It could, but
and the thing, it's just so bad because the Adams contract, you can't do anything with it unless you just hand him the money.
I don't know.
So, I mean,
listen, I wouldn't be opposed to going out and getting a Brinks truck to hand him it either,
well, yeah.
if you would like to.
I mean,
You don't
or
have
we
to
could just-
physically hand it to him. You could drive a Brinks truck if you want, you know.
I mean, or we could just, take Traylon Burks. So,
Take Traylon Burks. Bigger, faster, stronger Amari
draft
Rodgers.
talk already, MJ.
Oh no,
Oh,
no,
no.
no. The season hasn't even started. Don't do this to me.
The thing about this whole last dance, one last season too, is the Packers' schedule is tough. Like in
Oh,
the
yeah.
middle,
There's no 1 seed. Not happening.
in the
No.
middle stretch of the year, like they play some good defenses. Where
Okay.
They got tough games in December also.
Yeah.
Rams and the Browns in December are not going to be cakewalks.
they
So
got Baltimore near the end
yeah,
of the year.
they
too,
do have
don't
Baltimore as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
That
is gonna end
division-
our lives.
That division is tough, and hate to say it, I mean, if the offensive line did anything, the Cincinnati Bengals would be not an easy out, but
No.
I got slammed by these two.
Yeah.
Slammed by
Yeah.
these two.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
first
And
of
I will
all,
do it again. And I will do it again.
first of
So-
all, Mason, I'm with you. I love where the Bengals are going, and they're
But they're still
projection.
This is what I
very
mean,
much
though.
not there yet.
Nobody
I
said
don't
they're
think they're
there.
there
Nobody
yet.
said they're going 13 wins. They're going to shock somebody and beat
Oh,
them.
100%.
So I hope it's not Green Bay.
There's
Is it
What I'm
That-
saying.
It
every
does feel like a
year.
trap
Okay.
game.
Yes, there's
So-
one game every year.
No,
Yeah.
but our trap game is usually in a really nice place on the road.
It was in
After a
Lambeau last year
bye.
against the team that won one game the whole entire year.
Jake Luton.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Wait, didn't we beat Jacksonville?
Yes,
Yeah,
by like
barely.
Why?
They were
No, our
just too
tra-
bad to finish the job. Cincinnati won't be that bad.
No.
Promise.
No, but normally
They're
our
in that
trap game
position.
is like the Chargers in LA week.
They ain't no
7.
trap game. That team's legit.
I mean, yeah.
I agree.
No.
That team's legit.
Seems scary.
The trap game, if we're gonna go there, yeah, at Cincinnati feels like the trap game. I don't know what else is really on there that feels like the Arizona on the road.
Maybe.
That's the other thing.
Kyler Murray would run all over us.
That whole division's good.
Yep.
So, and Washington comes to town.
That's a loss. I'm sorry.
That doesn't feel
No
like
slouch either. So
that feels
the
more
schedule's
like
brutal.
not a trap game because I think Washington's gonna be really good.
Exactly. It's
They have a really hard schedule too.
Yeah.
The thing is with
not to
Washington,
mention, obviously, the two-time reigning AFC champions on the schedule as well. So
And
Yeah.
the Steelers come in the middle of the year too, don't they?
That's
Or they play
fine.
Pittsburgh?
yeah, they do. So they have.
I mean,
they have. It's not easy. The schedule's not easy. So
They're fine.
And if you're thinking about Super
I mean,
Bowl,
when they
seed,
have, yeah, of course, when they have, the group they have right now, it's not like this is going to be a 6-11 season
no.
by any stretch, but this will not be a 15-2, 14-3
No.
football team that secures the number 1 seed in the NFC.
I'll be
I
honest.
just don't see it. One
I
Tampa
don't-
Bay,
I don't
Tampa
want
Bay gets a second place schedule off of a Super Bowl win. They get a second place schedule because the
The
Saints
most
won the division.
loaded roster in football.
So there's one for you right there.
the Rams.
The Rams could be excellent. The Niners could be excellent. Everybody's back from injury. So
Well, yeah.
it's an uphill battle to get a 1 seed. Seattle's always tough. Everybody thinks they're going to go 6. They're going to be a 6-win team. Every year it just happens
know,
down the
every
stretch,
year.
and they're not that. They're never that. So
No, they always start really well.
they're never that.
I need to have a conversation with you, Jake, after this about something Seahawks related.
Okay.
But anything
Some-
else about Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers' interview?
Sad.
Sad
Slightly
days.
Pretty much
depressing.
summed it up, yeah.
I mean,
I'm so
it's
sad I
it's-
didn't even I should have worn the 17 jersey instead of the 18. But wow.
No, the 18's clean.
Is
Yeah.
it though? It's gone.
But it's just to basically have confirmed that there's a 1% chance at best that those two will be together on the team next year.
On the
I mean,
Packers, yes.
Enjoy
Yeah,
it. Packer
it's really-
fans.
It's very sad to see because Adams and having Cobb back are both the end of peak Aaron Rodgers era.
Yeah.
So all of that walking out the door at the same
Yeah.
time, that's sad.
It's gonna be hard.
All
Yeah.
of that to say, I still would have traded both of them this offseason if I was in control, especially with all this last dance BS. Like, sorry, I'm not even a Bulls fan. My name
Just-
may be MJ. I'm not a Bulls fan. But until you win 5 championships,
Yeah.
you win 6, you are not Jordan and Pippen. I don't care. Like, I'm not even a Jordan freak. I hate that basketball GOAT discussion. It pisses me off.
You know what made
But-
that Bulls team cool? They won 5 championships before the last dance.
Right. And then with the Lance Dance, they won. Like, that's what made it the Last Dance. You don't get to call it that bothered me a lot when I saw that.
Okay.
The funny part, though, was everybody else who started posting other pictures of players on the team. That was funny.
That was funny, yeah.
That
When
is
Tunyon
Shout out
Tunyon
to
Rodman,
Robert Tonyan for
and then all
Dennis
of the
Rodman.
memes that came out of that, I was like, okay, that's funny. I
this
like that.
during that whole entire phase. I just want to say, MVS, I love you.
Kept me, yeah. That's why I tweeted out, be more like MVS,
Yes,
because
but
oh my gosh, he kept us sane.
Drop
MVS
passes.
and Kenny Clark right now is great as well.
Okay, Jake.
What'd you
stop it.
say?
Be nice. I said be
What?
more like MVS, and he said drop passes.
Yeah.
Oh
Jake,
boy.
That's
be
what I was.
nice.
Oh,
Season hasn't
oh,
even.
oh.
Training
You
camp
talk about
just
James
started.
Washington the same way.
Be nice.
What?
You talk
I
about
talk,
James
I
Washington.
talk about
the same way?
Deontay Johnson the same way for
Oh
sure.
yeah, same player. God damn. Same team.
Well,
Close enough.
they separate in different ways, but yeah, they're very similar in the terms.
So last week I kind of want to take note of this. I did an article like 4 days before everything kind of got back to normal. 2 days actually.
It was you. Thank you.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks for
But
that.
it was an article about like who was really to blame. Obviously, a lot of the Packer fans like to blame Mark Murphy and Brian Gutekunst because those are the two easy ones. But I kind of had a different opinion because for me it was the head coach is always with the quarterback every day during practice. He sees the struggles of the quarterback in the new system, struggles I should say. Not seeing eye to eye on the same shit, kind of just arguing a bunch during the first year. And then LaFleur goes like, my biggest question is, was it really Gutekunst's decision or was it LaFleur?
This is the
Because
same conversation we had
yeah.
back when we talked about this the first time. And
Matt LaFleur.
I think Mason and I were the two that brought this up. There was nothing about Goody that indicated that a quarterback was on their radar. Since like Kaiser back in 17, when they talked about maybe drafting him in the second round, which is a little bit of a different story. And so, the 19 class we're going to talk about for a long time, I think, in Green Bay, because right now it looks like it's going to be one of the best classes since like the whole Ron Wolf, the Favre Rodgers era, really, that we've lived in. Then just completely flipping around to the point of I need, like Mason put in his article, I need Jordan Love. I need my Derrick Henry. I need my Kyle Juszczyk for a system that, I've learned. I mean, there's no way that LaFleur was not in Goody's ear talking about this. There's just no way. There's no way.
And everyone no one even like read the article. Like I posted on all Packer pages. They didn't read the article. It's, oh, look at the two idiots on the sides. Give LaFleur another chance, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, did you not read what I just had to say? The signs are all there.
Oh, it's there.
It is
because he's gone 20-6 or 26-6 in the regular season. Nobody says anything about it.
Yeah.
Which is fair. He's been great. There's no doubt. But
look who has
we're not sitting here. Yeah, he hasn't said a word. Well, he did. He said the wine helped at night, I believe, in the press conference.
Yeah,
he did.
He said that, which was funny.
The interesting comparison, I forget who made it, was with Shanahan and LaFleur. LaFleur goes out and gets his own guy, and then Shanahan with Garoppolo goes out and gets his own guy in Trey Lance.
That's the note I made at the end of the article.
Yep.
I said it with McVay from Goff to Stafford, and then Shanahan from Jimmy G to Lance this year. But LaFleur wanted to do it ahead. It's there. It's so obvious.
All these guys want their quarterback,
their own guy,
what they want to do.
Yep.
It is the upgrades are clear for the other two guys. It seems to this point. I mean, we haven't seen Lance yet, but
the confusing part,
mechanically and physically, it's an upgrade. It is. So
I'm just
But go ahead, MJ.
confused from Rodgers' perspective. Okay, I understand Jordan Love getting drafted. Not great to see a replacement drafted, right? But then he went out and won an MVP. And I understand the whole lack of commitment issue, which is fair, but you were under contract. To me, I feel like he's doing a lot of assuming that they were going to get rid of him when he's under contract.
I mean,
And what at what point did the Packers do something that made it seem like they were going to trade Aaron Rodgers after he won an MVP? What did they do that made it seem like that after he won the MVP?
I remember I asked you two this. It was a podcast with just the three of us, MJ and Chris, and I said it was the restructure of Rodgers. I said, if he does not get any restructure, do you two think it's going to cause drama? And you two blew it off. Just completely didn't say we're no problem. We're gonna stroll right through it. Obviously, that wasn't the case because with him not being restructured, you go from, oh, maybe I'll stick around longer. I mean, it's both sides. The Rodgers and Love camp we're looking at that like, oh, when is Love going to start? I mean, we haven't really talked about what Jordan Love's doing right now because of all this. He's just in the shadows still. So,
but I guess it's a chicken and the egg conversation. Like, did Rodgers camp start? Like, who started the drama? Who started?
Schefter.
Well,
no, because this started in February.
Rodgers. I think he kind of saw the writing on the wall, no?
Yes.
Where?
But the writing on the wall was run it back.
Okay, so
that's where I'm confused, personally.
The issue with this is, I think assuming that the trading was like blossom in the off season, I get what you're saying there, but in a league now that, and I know this isn't, I know you're talking about like after the draft pick, but like in a league now where the young quarterbacks, you gotta know sooner rather than later, to sit here like what 15 years later and see that, you know, this whole 3 years in wait thing, it's not happening anymore.
Nope.
Like nobody does it. Nobody's going to sit around and wait for their, you know, this guy to be ready. They need to find out, and they need a plan if it doesn't. And so this is why you're going to see potentially the Niners run out the gate with Lance. Potentially, if they do it, then you understand why. Like, this is like, Jimmy didn't get us there. What like, we have to see what we've got. Like, the Bears are probably going to do the same at some point. Like the Chiefs, even after Alex Smith, a great year, doesn't matter. We draft this Mahomes kid, we got to see. And
we've kind of seen.
So it's moved to that point where there is no wait 3 years for this guy to come out here and start. And I know it's the Packer way and it's what they've done, but everybody else used to also do that.
Here's the contradiction for me.
It's
the contradiction in my mind is, yes, that has been the Packer way. And no, that isn't how the rest of the league does it anymore. But then Aaron Rodgers is also pissed off about the Packers running their front office the Packer way for the last 10 years and even recently. So if they run their front office the Packer way, then that would include not just starting Jordan Love for the sake of starting Jordan Love. So that's where I get caught up, because that's not how the Packers do things. And until I actually see them do it, which there's no indication that they were going to do that before all of this drama happened. There was no indication that they were going to start Jordan Love anytime soon. Matt LaFleur even said that Rodgers is our quarterback. Moving forward. Like,
I mean, Cliff Kingsbury also said Josh Rosen's our quarterback when he got hired, and then 2 months later they drafted Kyler.
That's Josh Rosen. That's Josh Rosen.
So
not
no,
Aaron
but
Rodgers.
I'm saying is people are just going to say things to the media, and they're going to
But
give you
there's-
their vanilla cookie cutter responses because,
But Aaron, all of this drama happened when Jordan Love had never taken a practice rep off of the scouting team. Like that's what drives me crazy is Aaron Rodgers is freaking out about a kid that until May had never taken a practice rep off of the scouting team. You're Aaron
but
Rodgers and you're worried about that?
They also used first round capital on him.
Yeah, MJ, you can.
That's the difference. And he didn't. And why did he not have the scout team? Did the offseason look regular last year? No, of course it didn't.
No.
So it's hard to use.
But even during the year, Tim Boyle.
I get it.
I
get it. But you put first round capital into this guy. That's the difference. If they drafted Jordan Love, if they drafted Jacob Eason in the 4th, highly doubt we have the same issue.
No chance.
Did I just hear something about Jacob Eason when I got back?
You did.
No.
Yuck.
Yeah. No, I'm saying is MJ's asking what has Aaron Rodgers worried about when Jordan Love hadn't taken any more than a scout team snap? And I said they put first round capital on him. If they put 4th round capital on Jacob Eason, I doubt Rodgers is worried because they know, maybe Eason becomes the backup to test Tim Boyle. That's what the 4th round capital would tell me. The first round capital tells me we want this guy starting.
That's literally look at
there are no comparisons because what doesn't happen is teams don't spend a first round pick on a quarterback and then their current starter go out and win MVP the next year. That doesn't happen. So my point is Rodgers, if I was Rodgers, it'd be like, I fixed the problem. I won MVP. I'm under contract. I won MVP. And until the team tells me Jordan Love is our guy, we're trading you, I just don't comprehend why he's freaking out. Okay, you didn't get your contract restructured. Okay, to me, it doesn't add up. And I understand his other issues with the front office. I'm not disputing that. I think that's fairly valid. But I'm inclined to when he says it wasn't about the draft pick, when he says this didn't start because of the draft, I agree. I really don't think this has anything to do with Jordan Love, his contract, or anything like that. I really think this is just him being petty and not being able to be LeBron and run the team. I really think it has way more to do with that than Jordan Love or not getting his contract restructured.
I think what he says has nothing. When it's interesting to hear it has nothing to do with Jordan Love, I think it has to do with the idea of Jordan Love, though. So,
yes.
I think if you go back to 2020 and they drafted a linebacker or somebody in the first round, I don't think that we're sitting here.
No.
He won MVP. Yeah, I mean, great. They're committed to him long term. This commitment is there. The problem is they use that the front office and him. They had the current state before 2020 was even in LaFleur's scheme, Rodgers didn't look great. He didn't look himself. So that in that current state, they sat there with a rookie quarterback who is going to be the future with a current state, and they thought, okay, this is it. Aaron Rodgers plays one more year, we move him. The MVP thing is what got them stuck because they didn't assume that was going to be the future state. They thought the future state was going to be, okay, another year, whatever. Rodgers he has another 26-4 or something, or maybe it's a 30-8 or something, and it's not the MVP level. So their assumption in that current state was the future state would not turn out like it did. And that's where the stuck problem has, where now they have to almost look like they have to commit to him, even though obviously behind the scenes there seems like plenty going on with Rodgers reaching out all right, look what I did. And I would like more say, in what goes on. And he kind of used the MVP season as kind of a chip on the table.
I think it's also he just wants control over his future. Yeah, the reigning MVP quarterback of football. I don't think he wants to be used as a stalking horse for so they can sit there and develop Jordan Love, right? He wants commitment for a few more years. He's expressed his desire to play into his 40s. And I think he kind of saw the writing on the wall in Green Bay where they drafted this kid in the first round and they're going to have to play him eventually. And I'm going to be out of here, right?
Jake, do you want to talk about your video from today?
Sure. If we're done with Aaron Rodgers,
I mean, I'm sure
Probably
we're back
exhausted
to it
it.
at some point.
we'll get there. If AJ joins, we'll get there. Holy
Oh
cow.
yeah, I know.
Oh boy.
I'll get yelled at for literally.
Yeah, go ahead, Mason. What do you got? I think I know the player you want to bring up. I might have said his name.
Can you like
accidentally.
explain what you did first?
Oh yeah, I put out a video today, just talking about 5 players who I was going to keep an eye on, especially as camp started. Obviously, when you cover the Packers, you're looking at everybody, but I think there was like a special microscope for 5 of these guys that I put out on the video, and just kind of where they were at in their like career so far, and like how the battle set up position wise, all kind of factored into like guys I was choosing for that video. So I don't know if you wanted me to list the 5 or not, or you wanted to bring up the guy that.
You can list the 5 and then I'll go.
So
to the 1.
yeah, I mean the 5. The first guy I had is Jay Sternberger.
Yep.
Second guy I had Kingsley Keke was my second. I had Royce Newman on there as well. I had Kamal Martin, and I had Devin Funchess. And I think I know which one Mason wants to bring up. Pretty sure
I told you which one I wanted to bring up.
you did.
So I was big on the whole don't draft a tight end in the first round when Hawkinson and Fant were in there.
Oh, here we
Because
go.
I had my eyes on
Sternberger.
Jay Sternberger. And of course, third round comes along. I saw that Packers had 2-3 visits with them pre-draft. So I'm like, okay, they're interested, obviously. So when I literally called that pick. Called it right in
Yep.
front of my dad, and everything
know,
was great. So
Yep. And I sat there miserable because there was a certain receiver who was
there
still on
was
the
a certain
board
receiver, yes.
who was clearly top 7 in
Yes.
the draft class by far. He was my 6th,
Terry
and
McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin,
Scary Terry.
who
So
they didn't take.
yes. So obviously it didn't take
Imagine
Terry
how
McLaurin.
good the class would be if
Yes.
they took him.
Yes.
Hey, Jake.
But
Imagine. So what you got?
obviously
They could have taken AJ Brown the second too. Just saying.
I mean, yeah, we could have also taken
DK.
yeah. But anyways, obviously Sternberger hasn't been on the field much thanks to Lonnie Johnson, number 1, giving him a concussion. Some other factors as well. COVID kind of fucked up second year. But obviously Robert Tonyan last year came out of nowhere. Just burst on the scene, bunch of touchdowns. Obviously Mercedes Lewis has a role. Josiah DeGuara is Kyle Juszczyk. So where is Jay Sternberger right now? He just obviously got a 2-game suspension. So I'm like, was listening to Jake talk about this earlier today. I'm like, what kind of role could Jay Sternberger play that we don't have right now? And so I looked at one name immediately popped into my mind. So I looked at the differences in like height, weight, similar kind of skill sets, like athletic, all that, athletic ability, all that. And so let me just kind of compare the two real quick. So
I like where this is going, actually.
Jay Sternberger is 6'4", 251.
Oh.
Another player that I compared him to that I would love to have him in this role is 6'6", 249. Jake, do you know who I'm talking about?
Potentially.
What team does he play
6'6",
for?
249. 6'6", 249.
Six 249.
He plays tight end. It's not Kyle Pitts, by the way.
No, I knew it wasn't Kyle Pitts. He plays tight end. Oh. I'm like going back through everybody. I'm wondering, maybe it wasn't the role I was thinking of, but maybe go ahead.
I could see it, but Mike Gesicki.
Okay. I could see that.
I think
Kind of bigger.
Gesicki's got better hands, no?
mean, you haven't seen him with Sternberger.
That's
He
true.
hasn't played.
Yeah, it's been
Solid hands in college. So, I mean, they're similar athletic ability, similar height, weight. I mean, we kind of need, I mean, I guess every receiver that the Packers have besides Amari Rodgers and Randall Cobb are trees. So, I mean, you could have one of the slot guys, or dare I say, have one in the backfield, like Randall Cobb was at times.
Yeah.
But I think you could get Sternberger in that slot receiver role that Mike Gesicki plays in Miami. Just a thought.
Yeah, I think the potential is there. The slot is like, well, it's one of the positional battles I think is the most interesting by far, because there are so many options and so many different guys they're going to throw into that position all season long. You know, they love to have Devontae go in there and just beat the crap out of slot corners. Obviously, Randall Cobb's going to be there.
That's where he operates.
Yeah, Amari Rodgers obviously been great there as well. And, you know, I think there's a good chance that if he makes the team, that Devin Funchess gets some big slot in the kind of role that Mason is describing that Sternberger could play in. So, yeah, it's going to be the most interesting position that's not maybe labeled as one that everybody talks about in a camp battle, because everybody's like, oh, who's the second corner? You know, everybody's got to say that. Who's going to be the starting left guard for my team? It's like for Green Bay, it's way more. We go way more into like, who's going to be the slot?
Third safety slot.
Who's going to be the star?
Yep.
This year.
Who's going to be the third safety? So, I mean, that kind of brings us back to
Sternberger's an interesting case.
Yeah.
It is.
It's almost like hasn't gotten the opportunity, but hasn't made the most of the opportunities he's gotten.
That was the same thing with Tunyon before last year, too.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody thought
there's always some third-year breakout for Green Bay. I mean, it has to be.
Kingsley Kiki.
Yeah, it's one of the Texas A&M kids.
It is. It's one of them. It's not. You could argue Savage has already kind of done.
He's there.
Gary, if it's a breakout, it's like 13 sacks.
Yeah.
Like that's the breakout, and I think a lot of people have already said like that's.
Yep.
Elton Jenkins was apparently just a Hall of Famer when he started walking in a green and gold uniform. So
he was.
Whatever, no breakout there. But yeah, it's going to be one of those two guys.
You kind of going into our depth chart, kind of position battles here. You mentioned Devin Funchess, so that's what you have 5 automatically on the roster.
Yeah.
You got Adams, Lazard, MBS, Cobb, Rodgers.
Yeah, they spelled drama if you spell them correctly.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
That's incredible.
But
that's why he wants Randall Cobb.
Obviously, Sam Brown has to get shit together.
I think he's cut.
Unless
he
factors in that much on special teams, he's gone.
Yeah, he has to. He has to. If he doesn't prove he's absolutely vital on special teams, it's over.
For me, is Devin Funchess a cut candidate?
Yes.
Yeah. He's got to go.
Any of the other receivers are. For me, it's do you want? I mean, we've heard a lot about Juwan Renfrey during camp. So is it Winfrey? Is it Funchess? Is it Malik Taylor? I mean,
I know who it is. I know who it's going to be.
Malik Taylor?
It's going to be the guy Rodgers trusts the most.
Wow.
Could you imagine? It's probably going to be that. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. That'll be the 6th receiver.
We kind of already went over tight end slightly. But
there's a lot of guys there.
There's so many.
There's a lot
of guys. And I don't know if they're going to keep.
They can't keep 5.
No.
The thing
they
is
might be able to stash Daphne. It's possible, but obviously teams have some game tape on him live now that he's played. So
I think LaFleur loves Daphne. That's the thing.
Well,
they can have.
He's got to love Duggar if he took him in the 3rd.
That's true.
So you better love him. He better.
The thing you can do though is since Sternberger is suspended 2 games, you can have Daphne in for the 2 games and then put him on practice squad or put Sternberger on practice squad, whichever. You can have one or two tight ends on practice squad if you really want.
Yeah,
It's
possible.
Jake, are you thinking Kylan Hill wins that third running back job?
I will be
Shocked.
I won't be consolable if he doesn't win it.
Okay.
I
So
won't be.
Dexter Williams or Patrick Taylor if he gets healthy. I'm a big Patrick Taylor guy.
I would prefer Patrick Taylor.
I
know though, LaFleur has talked about Dexter Williams at
got a
times.
touchdown today.
And I know LaFleur likes Dexter Williams. Truthfully, as one of Rodgers' quotes that we remember, I don't care. Matt, I'll say Matt because it's Matt LaFleur likes Dexter Williams. I think Patrick Taylor's the better player.
Yep.
I don't think it's particularly close. I don't know what Dexter Williams is providing you that AJ Dillon already can't provide you. So bye-bye.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
I don't know what he's gonna bring that this team absolutely needs.
This whole Dennis Kelly signing kind of really makes things a lot more complicated. It was already complicated on the right side, not even more with the depth. Like how many we've drafted, 5, 6 offensive linemen over the last 2 years?
6.
So
one's playing center, so at least he's like, we're locked in, we're okay. There's nothing like that. Now I feel like half of them might not be on the team that were drafted. So
who wins right tackle between Turner, Newman, Kelly?
Well, I mean, you would assume Turner's going to win that because
Billy Turner, yeah,
he's going to win that. However, I get what you're gonna point to here because I think I know where you're going with this because if they give Kelly right tackle, we know Turner plays right guard. You have now Lucas Patrick who plays center guard, basically. You have Jenkins who does everything. And then obviously Bakhtiari is going to make the team. So now the problem is, and obviously Myers is there. The problem is there is legitimately nowhere for these guys from last year's class to fit in besides maybe Runyon, who's got experience playing. Like Stepaniak and Hansen are gone. And Van Lanen. Why? Why?
It's weird. It is like how many linemen do you think we keep? So that's 5, 8, 9.
There's a lot. Like, okay, so what's on the roster right now? We have like the Green Bay has
maybe give me a sec. I have it up right now. 4,
that's a lot.
8, 11. Wait, that might be counting multiple. We have like almost 20.
Yeah, and like.
So who are the ones that are obviously up? I mean, even Ben Braden.
1, 2.
Oh yeah, Braden. Yeah, Van Lanen's getting cut or put on the he's put on the practice.
The Packers don't cut. The Packers don't just get rid of draft picks. They usually put them on the practice squad.
16.
So the practice squad's gonna have like 4 offensive linemen on it.
We have 16 linemen on the roster right now.
Holy shit.
My Royce Newman thing was way better yesterday. Sucks. They bring in Dennis Kelly, who I like.
Wait, hold on. Since isn't Lucas Patrick kind of have a big contract that they might want to get rid of?
That's the one thing is.
So could you move, say, have a competition between Runyon, Stepaniak, and Newman for that right guard role?
You could, but in theory, you're suggesting we put. It's really for a backup right guard role, no?
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? So are you going to keep 2 or are you keeping 1?
Another thing that I want to mention here is what happens if Dennis Kelly does win that right tackle job and you're confident in all these young kids that Billy Turner doesn't have a role?
For what it's worth, Tom Silverstein thinks that Kelly will be at right tackle, Turner at left tackle, and Jenkins at guard.
Yeah, but that's the thing. What happens when Bakhtiari gets back?
Yeah.
Then Turner returns to right tackle is literally what his tweet says.
So is he pretty much saying that Dennis Kelly's a Band-Aid for the first however many weeks?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
seeing. So then that changes things then.
That still makes things complicated even without Kelly. 'Cause he
Yeah,
still
even
has-
without Kelly, there was still plenty of talk as to how right tackle was going to be solved after Billy Turner.
Yes.
Because obviously the Packers love to draft guys with tackle experience. The problem is I don't know if any of them can play tackle.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I say we just only draft guards and then just put Elton Jenkins at right tackle and just have the two best tackles in football
Yeah.
and be done with it.
Yeah.
That way we don't have to worry about tackle for the next 7 years.
Well, no, I would draft one every year.
Yes.
I would draft one every year. A
Well,
tackle.
yeah.
Period.
Just to get some
I
development.
was exaggerating,
Yeah.
but yes, thank you.
But
Draft
you know,
geniuses.
just 6 and 2 years really
Yeah.
is like such a bank on the fact that let's hope 2 of these guys can be starters at some point for us. And we shed these bigger contracts from these guys. And
I mean, isn't this
build around a young quarterback.
Isn't Turner?
we
Did we
want to
restructure
start.
Turner?
Yes, I think they did.
I think so.
So that makes even more less sense.
Listen, there's a lot of things that don't make sense. MJ, I think probably wants to talk about is his favorite Packer of all time, Preston Smith restructuring.
Why?
Yeah, they did restructure.
He's unnecessary.
Turner's back in
We
March.
He
can
is
talk
not
about-
worth the money.
Back in March, they restructured.
We'll
Turner.
get back into that later. MJ.
He is not worth the money. He is
He's
not
worth-
even.
Hey, that's another thing here, MJ. He's a locker room guy. We've had a lot of talk about that today.
Oh my gosh. No. He was there for a year. 2 years. I don't care.
Son is awful right now. Jesus.
He's not Zedarius. He's the inferior of the Smith brothers.
Well,
Very
yeah,
Smith brother.
obviously.
Like I don't care. You can leave. I have Rashawn Gary. That's Rashawn Gary this year. If you gave him full starting edge snaps, would not produce worse than Preston Smith did. And he is so much cheaper. Like really? No.
The thing is, MJ, is that we used all three on the field so much last year at the same time.
But I don't care because Preston Smith really sucks in the run game and really
don't-
sucks at rushing the passer at this point in time, and it costs too much money.
Jesus.
So
Wow.
Wow.
you brought
you-
this up. You know my opinion.
Yeah. I need a piece on this, and I need like evidence in spades from you.
Okay, you
I
want me
need
to
the
write an
evidence,
article?
which you're not going to get any all 22 because they've removed it for now months.
I hate them.
I
so
just
much right
saw
now.
that on Twitter. I'll find it on YouTube.
I'm
you want
canceling
me?
them.
You want this in article or video form?
Preston Smith hate article.
I don't care. Do what you want to do.
No, I'm.
What's
I
your
am doing
preference?
This just
I think you should probably do an article because we've seen the intros that you've done today, and
Wow.
I don't know, man. They didn't exude excitement, and
They did not.
that's AJ's job. It's not my
His
job.
training camp and MJ's over here like.
Yeah, but
"Come
if it's a
on,
Cheeseheads
guys."
podcast, MJ, who's bringing the confidence in the intro? AJ and I aren't
it's
here.
Me.
Oh,
Wow.
Listen,
knew
I
that.
haven't done it in months. I had a
Well,
hard day at work.
Yeah,
I
so
didn't-
maybe you bring that little extra bit because
Hi guys, welcome back. There we go. Is that better?
Okay.
that sounded
So
fake. I
enough
don't
of
know.
MJ being
Well, yeah,
a
that's.
horrible introduction,
Okay.
man.
I am not a
love
naturally
it.
peppy human being.
All right.
Neither am I.
Okay.
All right, enough of you. Starting
What?
3 on the defensive line today was apparently Lowry, Clark, Lancaster. I do not agree.
Rough.
I think Lancaster's a cut candidate.
I think so.
Not if they're starting.
The Kings of
think you
Kiki
obviously
dreaming
have to
is
have-
dying early in camp.
You have to have Kiki there instead of Lancaster. You have
So my
to.
question is are they going to run multiple
They have to
then? Because
Slayton.
I thought there was probably, I mean, you have, well, the way they came out, they better be, because I don't know, man. I thought the Barry experiment was we're 4 down linemen and you make the mistake. And I thought if they're going to do that, great. The best 4, roll out Z, roll out Gary, roll out Kiki, roll out Clark, and get after the quarterback as much as possible on 2nd and 3rd down. Now I'm wondering, have we been led astray as to Joe Barry's plans?
I mean, everyone is at this point. I mean,
apparently we've been run amok. We've been bamboozled. If this is the plan, which makes me even less confident of a Lance Stance type of Super Bowl run now. So I know it's one day of camp and I don't want to overreact, but like that is odd.
Overreact.
Who in that 4-3 then? Who are your 3 off ball?
Well, I just like to play some base nickel, get a big dude in nickel. If we had Owusu Koromoa, that would be amazing. And we would just use him at the star as basically linebacker slot. Man, yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. It'll be interesting to watch it take shape. I mean,
it's weird to project.
The base is gonna be odd, apparently.
It's weird,
literally and and figuratively.
Edge rusher number 4. You've got
that's a great battle.
Gary, and
it's a great battle.
Randy Ramsey, Jonathan Garvin, and Tipa Galea.
I mean,
big Tipa fan, by the way. So
I just love Garvin's spider chart, so that's why I lean that direction.
Wow.
Well, hey, if the Packers are going to do it with Gary, I feel like I should be entitled to also look at the spider chart of Garvin and feel like that's the way to go. Galea is, I get that.
The only reason why they went undrafted was because of character concerns. Just weird why the Packers even picked him up then.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
You don't see that.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it's Garvin, but who knows? I don't. That's the one I'm definitely most interested to see after slot, because I feel like Star is it's down to 3 guys basically.
Yeah.
And well, maybe 4 depending on how they like a certain individual, I guess, from TCU. But depending on if they like him. But it's 3 or 4 guys. Obviously Sullivan got out there with the ones, but obviously King's wasn't out there practice, so Stokes obviously gets that other nod outside. So we'll see. I would prefer Garvin, but the Galea, I understand that as well. Edge 4 is going to be limited reps, we believe.
Yeah.
Most of the season. So ideally, it's somebody obviously who has the juice to get after the quarterback whenever possible. Maybe you want a guy running off from the sideline to create a little pressure. Dean Lowry, great times. That's interesting. Obviously, to see Devondre Campbell come out as one of the 2 linebackers to start gives you some. Obviously, McDuffie not there, out there. Everybody loves Summers. I feel like in some circles.
I think it's obvious who the 5 linebackers are for the team this year. There's off-ball linebacker.
Sure seems that way.
But
I don't know why they would go any other direction.
I mean, the thing is like who comes off the bench first between Martin and McDuffie? I mean, it depends on the package.
Whoever Joe Barry likes more.
It depends on the package because Martin's more of a run stuffer and McDuffie's kind of more the balanced.
Yeah, so it was interesting that they came out with Campbell and the ones in what looks like a base defense.
Yeah.
Because Campbell has that athleticism and coverage that I understood why they picked him up.
Yeah.
So to see not a Barnes Martin out there in an early down package is interesting. And maybe Joe Barry isn't as big a fan of Martin. I don't know.
Goodbye, Oren Burks.
Yeah, it's time.
Goodbye.
It's time. 18 classes got to go except for 1 man.
Yes.
Really, thank goodness Jair is there. Obviously, Josh Jackson's still there. Probably people want to talk about him. I don't.
Do you want to talk about corner 2 at all? Or do we kind of all agree that because the big thing right now is that King's on the pod.
Yeah.
Stokes is getting snaps. King isn't right now.
Right.
So, I mean, it really depends on, obviously, both of them are going to get playing time this year.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, is there really much of a conversation? Because both are going to be on the field ton.
Yeah. Again, I think it's depends on what you're asking. If you're asking somebody to sit more 7-8 yards off, I know my answer. If you want somebody up front who can turn and run and stick in a deep zone when you have to trail the guy, I know my answer. So I think it comes down to what Barry wants to do more of.
Yeah.
If he wants to do more of the, we're playing off a lot, then, give me King.
Yeah.
If he wants to be up more in your face and get these guys bail a little bit with more bail technique to handle guys vertically, to handle them, more almost in that, obviously in the cover 3, they look sometimes is almost in a man kind of coverage because you're taking guys vertically, then obviously it's Stokes.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see in preseason how they run things and to see how Stokes does,
obviously,
which will give us a lot. But I think it just comes down to how Joe Barry wants to run things. And we're going to get a great idea over the next few weeks. And it's clear the ones today, it at least gives you at least a little bit of indication that we might not have known exactly what Barry was going to bring. And if he could surprise us, great. Like I'm here for not being predictable.
6 or 7 corners.
MJ, what do you think? 6 or 7 corners?
Let me count real quick who I would keep.
No, 6 or 7. Those are the numbers. You have to count.
Tell me you weren't paying attention without telling me you weren't paying attention.
No, I after you started discussing why Kevin King should be on the roster, I stopped paying attention. He can be on the roster.
First round pick hasn't passed him on the depth chart already. What's going on though?
First round capital is so important, Jake. And why is Kevin King losing his mind?
Look at Seattle.
Because he's just grateful to have a job here in Green Bay, I believe. That's why.
Oh my gosh.
He's not losing his mind.
I have my take here. And I know my 6 because I'm only a 6.
I know my 6 as well.
I think our 6 is the same.
I bet it is.
Tell me your 6 and I'll tell you if I agree.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
Jair, Kevin King, Eric Stokes.
Yeah.
Chandon Sullivan.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Jamar.
Yeah.
And Kadar Holden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the 6. Woo.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Samuel's again.
I would like to maybe take a closer look at Samuel.
I would, because he's got the bigger size. He's got size, frame, all that good stuff. But and if they're gonna go that, if they want that type of player over a guy like Hallman, then just bring 7. Just get 7. If they don't care and they feel good about where they're at in terms of size, in terms of the corners, then don't bother. Josh Jackson, I wish you the best wherever you go. Hopefully it's a role in a cover 3 that gives you an opportunity to play a la
and them to Las Vegas.
What first round pick that I can't think of now. Demarius Randall, what he did at Arizona State. Yeah. If he can find that role for Josh Jackson somewhere on a defense, great.
I was so amped for Josh Jackson too.
Oh man,
it was bad.
I felt so vindicated, and not at the expense of Josh Jackson, but that is definitely. I know a lot of people were like, "Man, yes, we got the better corner in round 2." And I was like,
no,
you didn't. No, you didn't.
Oh, you got these.
You got the best corner in the draft at 18. And anyway,
I just want to say, Jake, at least we still have
What's
a
up?
corner named Samuels from Florida State on the roster.
Oh. That's a pot shot.
Yep.
That hurts.
Ow.
That hurts.
Ow.
And the other
Very
one
much
gets to go play with Brandon Staley. So,
That's gonna be.
of course.
insane.
How
MJ,
about
do you have
oh yeah, MJ said 6.
Yeah,
Chris,
MJ,
you
who's your
taking
corner?
6?
No, my 6 are exactly.
Yeah, he
the
said
same.
he agreed.
Oh.
I heard him.
No,
Chris, are you the
I
same?
agree.
I'm
Yeah.
same.
Okay.
There's
Yeah, I just
nobody
don't-
else that jumps out at me that would.
No.
Okay, how about this?
Okay.
So
No.
Shannon Sullivan's on a 1-year deal, right?
Cool.
He's on that RFA or whatever the hell it is, URFA, whatever.
Yep. The
Yeah.
same at
Depending on how he does this year, how
Yeah.
confident are you in Shamar next year
100%.
in the slot?
100%.
Perfect. I
Woo.
agree.
or
What do you mean you
Or-
agree?
Are we
or-
agreeing?
or next year take another corner in the first and you let Stokes and
Facts.
Alexander flip-flop in the slot.
Which corner?
Let's do
Give
it.
me Sauce Gardner right now.
Oh no, actually that was definitely
Derek
not who I
Stingley
was thinking.
Jr.
No. We need to be bad for that to happen.
Very bad.
Very bad.
Yeah, you need to be bad for that.
No, we'll just trade Aaron Rodgers for that pick.
Fair point. Send him to Pittsburgh since they're not going to do this.
or you let Travius Hodges Tomlinson compete with
I
Shamar
was
Jean
just
Charles.
gonna say that.
And then you have the 3-letter acronym players in the slot.
Yes.
That's where you roll. That's how you roll right there.
I am in love with TCU's defense.
How can you not be? There's
Garrett Wallow, Ardarius Washington, Berrig. Yeah. Tomlinson. Yeah, I'm having fun.
Yep. Noah
Oh.
Daniels. Yep. Good times.
Speaking of safeties, I think Amos, Savage, Scott, top 3.
Yeah. That is the top 3. It's sneaky because I feel like everybody's talking about Poff.
Including
I
me.
wonder, and I
Including
wonder
me.
if that's our UDFA.
Yep. I am willing to bet
kind of,
money.
I think it is.
I am willing
And it's
to bet
hard because
very-
you were doing the roster thing last night, and I'm still
I
going
gave
through it.
I gave up.
I know it's hard.
I was gonna maybe
It's
ask if you
hard.
guys wanted to do it tonight.
Oh, it's so difficult.
Make 53.
It's
Yes.
so hard to do
How about we save that
because
for
of the thing
podcast?
MJ looked up. There are 16
Yeah.
offensive linemen. Have fun. Sucks.
How
It's
many
the
are you putting on the
worst.
practice squad?
It sucks.
Oh, that's right.
Who's getting poached?
It's horrible.
But
God, they love Ben Braden so much. I don't think he's getting cut. So, like, you have to listen to Green Bay in that too, and it's so annoying. For those who are watching and for those who are here, just try it.
it's not fun.
It's
Try to
tough.
figure out how many
Not
offensive
tonight, but I
linemen you're
wanna do
taking,
it.
and then
I'll do it. Yeah.
I'll
And then
whatever.
I found myself.
First podcast when I'm in Whitewater. There we go.
Deal.
Perfect.
I encourage you to, when you get there, don't break down and say which guy can play defensive tackle. And if you get through that, like, then you're in good shape, because that's where I got to with the offensive line. I sat there, was like, can any of these guys play D tackle?
Can any of
so
them-
I'm gonna keep them, but otherwise I don't.
Can
know.
any of them lose weight and play off-ball linebacker?
If there was one of them that you think could do it, who is it?
Offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Elton
Who is
Jenkins.
I mean,
Well,
yeah.
okay, that's yeah.
That's cheating.
Dang it!
Yeah.
All right, well, okay, all right, fine. But not Elton Jenkins that could do it. Who is
I
it?
mean, here's where.
I think I know who it is.
I think it's Yosh.
Yeah, I was just.
I would agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Yosh, or I believe the best athlete of
Was
all
it
of these
Hansen?
guys is Hansen.
Hansen.
Yeah.
Hansen's athleticism score is ridiculous. He
Because
can play
I made
outside zone at center. I'm fairly confident he's the other guy.
I made a comment after last year's draft that Jake Hansen is going to be our starter this next year. So, yeah, that's
You
not
were
really
almost
perfect.
right, because
Yeah.
they moved on from Lindsley.
Okay. I need
It
to
started
rant.
to get on there.
I need
Oh,
to
no,
rant.
get there. He made perfect sense.
I need to rant about something real quick.
He made
I
perfect
have-
sense.
Given Gutekunst so much this offseason, but tell me why you re-signed Aaron Jones instead of your first team All-Pro center.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah.
Anyone got an explanation?
No.
Anyone? And then you draft Kylan Hill in the 7th round too?
Hold on. I'm gonna
Beats
turn
me,
this
I
up
don't know.
just a little bit. All right.
Corey Lindsley.
I don't recall. I don't. It made no sense. It made none.
My
Not at all.
reaction.
Because then, well, okay, this is where MJ has his little the run it back thing. This is where this comes into play in a big way in the offseason. If you're going to make the argument about, the draft pick not being it wasn't that, and they wanted to run it back, and they said they were going to run it back, and Rodgers is back to run it back. They brought back the running back over the center, which I guess it tells you that, well, we're kind of tearing it down over there, but right now we're fine, right? We're good.
We're okay, I promise.
Woo!
I wish
right.
a GM would do that once just to be funny.
MJ.
Just be like, I really don't know what I was thinking there.
Yes,
MJ,
Mason.
I have a question for you.
Yes, Mason. What can I do
Who
for you,
is
sir?
your favorite player on the Green Bay Packers?
Who is my favorite player?
Yes.
Probably Devontae. Why?
I think it's J.K. Scott.
J.K. Scott is actually my second favorite behind Preston Smith.
J.K.
Both of
Scott.
whom should get traded or cut or banished from the entire state of Wisconsin
Okay, but no,
for
actually,
the
though,
atrocities that they have committed against the Green
Okay,
Bay
but-
Packers.
Okay, but no,
Favorite.
actually, though, who's your favorite Packer?
Devontae Adams. Because I
Not mine.
also
They're gonna be signing my favorite guy to a big boy deal
Jair.
very soon. Yeah.
I like,
Fair.
as much as I love Jair and his clout goggles. I don't know.
It's like a corner who talks ish and likes to back it
Oh
up.
yeah.
True. We have
I'm a
not had
big-
one
I'd
of those
like
in a while.
it.
I'm a big Darnell Savage guy.
I respect that.
I
mean,
get
I'm
it.
starting to love MVS and Kenny Clark the more that they tweet.
What are you doing?
I want
You
to try.
can't.
Especially that MVS guy. Big
I want to
fan.
try something. Jake, I'm going
He's
to try to
incredible.
do it on the fly here. One. You guys can talk. I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to try to
So-
do 53.
Oh,
You're gonna
gosh.
try and do it right now.
Yes.
It's not.
I don't
It's
have
very
time for that.
difficult. It's really difficult. You panic, and then you start bargaining with yourself. What do you do this? You're like, I can.
I can trade this guy for this.
Hey,
round.
we can roll with 3 safeties, right? We're fine. Like you start
11
bargaining.
offensive
You start
linemen and
doing.
3 safeties.
Yeah, you start bargaining with yourself. You're like, we can take 11 offensive linemen. I just want to cut half of the defensive tackles and then all the safeties. And then you're like, we're
Well,
good.
and you have to cut
Or-
16 offensive linemen to 8.
Or just to piss Mason off, I'm gonna cut McDuffie so we only have 3 linebackers on our team.
Or I'll cut Sternberger.
I still think it's possible
It is.
that they
I'll be upset.
do. It's
mean, I
gonna
was
be
also-
upsetting.
I
Also, it's really sad on ESPN's site. I have 3 depth chart things open. It's really sad that he's not on there.
just looked at that.
McDuffie?
I'm looking at it right now.
No,
No,
Sternberger.
Sternberger.
Not on there.
I'm looking at it right now.
There's only 4 slots though
Yeah.
going
Man.
across. So
I
have the other 4 guys there.
I originally had.
They have Dominique Daphne over.
hold
I
on,
know.
I
That's
had,
why it's that's concerning.
I had our lads up first.
Oh
And
yeah.
during the middle of the podcast, I made the weirdest face of ever. I was just like, I did one of those. They have Devondre Campbell as an edge rusher.
What?
What?
Yeah, go look at our lads.
God
Go
damn.
look at our lads.
He would play Will linebacker in a 4-3, you darn fools. What is that? No way.
Yeah, go look at it.
No.
They literally have
Is it
Barnes and
really?
Martin, and then they have Campbell behind Zedarius, I think.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so they're basically assuming that No, they're not. What are they doing? They're not assuming anything. They're assuming, you know what? You know what happened is some 4-3 defense lists him as an outside linebacker. So like, oh,
So it's like Madden.
yeah, basically. That's what I feel like that's what our lad's depth chart.
The
Basically.
AI will sign a
Like-
3-4 defensive end as a 4-3 outside linebacker and pretend it's the exact same thing.
Yep. They're like, listen,
Thanks, EA.
EA's like, I got you a defensive end. He's 244. And he's 6'2.
Woo! I got you a
Because your
6'1"
defense says
nose
an
tackle.
outside linebacker plays out there.
I got you a 5'11" nose tackle. Take it or leave it.
Check out this outside linebacker I got you for your 3-4. He weighs 285. He is fantastic.
Hey, yo, Zayvon Collins.
Nice. That's mad and good stuff. Any other battles that people are interested in?
I mean,
Yeah. J.K. Scott and Ryan Winslow.
we already
Get rid
mentioned.
of J.K. Scott.
Please, Ryan
Maybe we can
Winslow
talk
cannot
long
be worse.
snapper battle.
That is actually that's gonna
Is
be
it actually a battle?
Oh, it's a battle.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Hear me
yeah.
out.
Go Fortunato and Hunter Bradley. Yeah.
Hear me out. So, another draft story. I mentioned to my dad when we drafted Hunter Bradley that it was going to be Tanner Carew, long snapper from Oregon. The exact same pick was Hunter Bradley. So I guess they're on long snapper. Go pick up Tanner Carew, please.
The amount of times that I've heard Mason tell that story is ridiculous.
Go pick up Tanner Carew.
Mason, do you and your dad like bet on draft picks?
No.
You should.
He when Cincinnati took William Jackson, so it was like pick 25 for Pittsburgh the next pick, and I'm like, hey yo, watch Artie Burns. Yep.
It is the
Yeah.
it's a classic move.
Yeah.
It's called the Pittsburgh Panic. And
Hey yo, Terrell Edmonds.
hey guys, we need a corner. The last first round corner is gone. Can I interest you in a third round one?
Can I interest you in a day 3 safety in the first round?
He's actually not bad now.
Well, not
He's
yet.
never going to live up to the billing of being a first round pick, but he's
No.
like actually not horrible.
I will never forget Daniel Jeremiah trying to just like explain Rashad Penny and then Terrell Edmonds back to back.
Right. Yeah. So that I remember that because
What about
yeah,
the other
I was,
guy they
I was
took?
live. I was live and I'm like, wow, Seattle, what are we going to do here?
Remember, what was the guy's name? LJ Collier or whatever?
He
LJ
actually
Collier.
did decent.
Yeah, he's not.
He
He's
had like
actually
4 or 5
not,
sacks.
he's like not horrible, which is wild.
Another thing.
Seattle has basically kind of passed that off now, almost
Yeah.
to the Raiders.
Oh my! I
Um,
watched your
which-
live show today.
Damon
and I saw
Arnett.
you just giggled immediately when you
What?
saw Leatherwood.
Oh, I did. I did. I thought it was funny. Well, especially because there was a big dude named Darius on the board. You darn.
Or like Tevin Jenkins, one of the two.
Yeah, Tevin Jenkins. That would have made sense. Listen, the Raiders like to do this, and they're like, just flip our picks. And we're good.
It was great during the draft
Which-
because we thought the first pick was always good, and then the even pick was Mayock.
Mayock.
We played that
Number
game the whole
3.
entire day 3. I remember playing this. And
It's
we're
a
like,
great game.
We're like, wait,
Yo, it's a funny game if you look at their draft class because it actually
was
makes
it when
sense.
and they go Leatherwood,
It
Merritt,
makes
and then
sense.
Malcolm Kuntz, and then like Divine Diablo.
Yeah, so it's so funny. Although, oh no, it completely tracks except for the fact that somehow the order got jumbled and Mayock went twice in a row, taking Diablo and Gillespie, and then he
Okay, hold
you
on.
can't tell me
I was
Morrissey
gonna-
wasn't his pick.
I was gonna
Uh,
say this real quick,
So
but instead of
it's
Van
funny,
Lanen,
though.
why was there no safety or like another edge rusher?
Are you trying to apply logic to the draft class?
Yes.
Why?
There is none.
Fuck.
0.
So you're saying a safety or what? Or an edge
Another
rusher? Oh, I don't know because
or another interior defensive lineman.
When did-
Wyman was available.
when did Kando go?
He
Did he
went
go
to
after-
Minnesota, right?
did he go
He
after?
went 5th round,
Oh,
I think, something like
Hmm.
that.
when did Janarius go then?
Oh yeah, Janarius. Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Janarius.
Okay.
And,
I was like, one of them was, I think, still there. We were talking about this.
Here,
I remember
hold on,
because
Jake, question for you.
yeah.
So, opposite of Daniil Hunter, they've got Stephen Weatherly, Patrick Jones, and Janarius Robinson. What the hell?
I think they're gonna I think they have that. They have one of those Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's like the polymerization, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna try and make an edge rusher out of all three in like a lab, and hope that they have a viable edge rusher opposite Daniil Hunter, and that's the plan I think for them. That's what I think.
And on that note,
I don't know what else to say there. I hope. I guess it's a strategy.
The Yu-Gi-Oh card strategy?
I think it's a way better strategy, but I think they're operating on the hope strategy because, yeah, I don't think Zimmer doesn't strike me as a Yu-Gi-Oh guy. I just don't think he is. So I don't think it's in their plans. But yeah, I have no idea. But yeah, the no safety, no edge rusher thing was annoying. One of the Cincinnati guys would have been nice.
Yes.
Kando or Robinson would have been fine as a fourth or fifth. But no. We want to make sure that this offensive lineman thing is horrible for every writer out there who's trying to predict the 53. That's Goody's just trolling at this point.
It is
and
so bad.
You know what?
Avalanche acquiring Darcy Kemper from Arizona. Zach is gonna go nuts.
What?
Other sports talk. That means we're done with the podcast. Woo!
Sure sounds like it at that point.
I didn't even bring up Joey Gallo during the.
I know Joey Gallo, the Yankees.
Yeah. Baseball. Woo! It's a great
I
time.
just flipped my phone over. I was like, oh, holy shit.
Baseball.
Well, next podcast will look quite a.
I'm so annoyed. The all 22 thing. Coach is
I am annoyed.
Game Pass. I'm low-key pissed off. Whatever.
That annoys me a lot. MJ, get off your phone.
What?
Anyway. This will be fun.
You want me to do an outro?
Yeah, it's gonna look a bit different next episode. So I mean,
at the outro, MJ.
Why will it look different?
Because I am moving in less than.
Oh, I was like, what's changing that I don't know? Okay, that makes more sense.
And maybe
we didn't tell you, MJ. It's a 5-person podcast now.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we may as well at this point.
Well, yeah,
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, we need AJ back.
I vote for yes.
I vote for yes as well.
Combine.
And then we all make a 53-man roster prediction and throw shit across the wall at the offensive line.
I vote we should have an offensive lineman draft to see who has the best, because I feel like with 5 we could still do that.
Yeah, we could.
How many are on the roster?
There's 16. Each of us can have 3.
Yes.
Everybody gets 3.
One left tackle, one right tackle, and a center.
Yeah. Elton Jenkins is going first overall.
Oh.
No.
I just want the first overall pick.
I'm
What?
gonna draft
No?
Isaiah McDuffie and throw him at
Who are you
left tackle.
taking? MJ's taking Billy Turner first. All right. I want
Billy
MJ.
Turner.
If MJ's first, I want the second pick. Or
I'm
the
gonna throw
third.
Isaiah McDuffie at center.
No, I would take
Words are hard.
Mason, are you okay?
Why?
Josh Neiman.
What?
Little Josh.
I don't know.
What's your
Oh
issue?
yeah, big Yosh guy.
What's up?
Those
Are you
ones
gonna do the
are
outro?
Sick.
Are you gonna do the outro?
All
or
right.
no?
Well, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the Cheeseheads podcast. Subscribe
Yeah.
to the YouTube and all that good stuff. We'll be back in the near future with more chaos, more entertaining Packers talk. Thank you for listening, and I'm gonna stop recording now so that I can stop looking at those lights. Have a good night.